and we're here today reviewing Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, with Austin and Brandon, as always.
So let's get started. This movie has garnered some controversy.
Yeah, you could say a bit more than that. You know,
Um,
it's very
yeah,
controversial because they took a main character who was originally a man in the original and
right,
turned it into a woman. I don't know how Harrison Ford feels about that. When they
right.
also changed the title
From Blade Runner
from Blade Runner
to
to
Ghost in the
Ghost in the
Shell.
Shell.
Yeah. No, we're obviously joking. The controversy is obvious. Is obviously it's been around on the internet. Everybody probably knows, but it's the old whitewashing controversy. How they took traditionally Japanese or Asian character and cast an American actress, a white woman, to to play.
Which, I mean, I think at the end of the day, as long as the person works in the role, like it's whatever, like who cares? Like,
Right.
I think in Doctor Strange with Tilda Swinton,
She's
that's-
very good.
yeah, I think she's really good, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
Exactly.
who cares? She's good in the movie. Scarlett Johansson, on the other hand, I don't think is a good actress in anything.
Right.
So,
And she's very, very wooden in this.
yeah, but she's also playing a robot.
She is also playing a robot too, so it kind of works, but she delivers every line like this.
Well, no
Dogs,
one can.
dogs really seem to like you.
That's what I seem to like you. I was with the Avengers last night, and we were fighting all these guys, and I realized I have no soul. You know, like I don't know. She's
I
just
am but a ghost in
okay.
the shell.
The people in that movie do not understand what that word means because they clearly mean soul. They're just like, it's okay because your ghost is still in your robotic body. Yeah, that's not what ghost means, you fools. Which I don't know. Okay, I want to prefer. I just want to say that I've never seen the original movie,
Right. Me neither.
so I don't know if problems that I have is like if they're also applicable to the original movie, or if it's just this one. I have to imagine that a lot of the problems I have though are in the original movie.
Well, to spoil, like to talk about like one scene, there is a weird scene where she sees some chick on the street and she asks if she's human, and then she goes inside with her. She starts touching her face, just molesting the crap out of it.
Well,
And
it wasn't molesting. She gave her consent.
she gave her consent. She was all up in that face, and she was.
I thought
just,
they were gonna kiss.
right. She was just asking what it feels like, and it's very obvious what they were going for. She doesn't know if she's human. She wants to know what humans feel when they feel like when their face
They
is
want
being
to know what
touched.
they feel when they feel like they're being
When they're
touched.
being when they have their faces touched and things like that. She wants to know what it feels like for a human, so she can know if it's what it feels like for her. So she knows more.
Does she
She's
feel
more
though?
human.
I was kind of confused on that. Like I wouldn't think so because she's a robotic body.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right, but from what I that scene is very awkward to watch. But I do
There
know
was
that
a
in
few
the original they tried a different approach to that because I watched the review that another reviewer, Chris Stuckman, did, and of the original, and he ended up talking about a similar scene where she's walking by a store and on the street corner, and she looks in the window and sees a mannequin, and it looks like her body. It looks like her body when she's in the shell costume thing, and she's just looking and feeling like is that all she is? And it's just a stare. She's staring at it, but you can understand what's going on, what she's thinking, and I think that's probably handled a little bit better. Like,
Yeah. Well, and one thing I just want to say is
Yeah.
the imagery in the movie definitely taken from the original, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah, like, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
No.
And there's like just a lot of weird imagery. Okay, so we went with 4 people. It was me, Brandon, Randy, Cody, and Randy was falling asleep the entire movie.
Well, the
And
first...
I had to keep like not nudging him. I was whispering to him the entire movie, and we just kept looking at each other like, "Wow, what the hell's going on?"
Well, yeah. Well, the first 30 to 40 minutes of this movie are not very well structured in terms of the way that they communicate the ideas and the narrative and what they're trying to say. For instance, like the face touching scene, but even after that,
Whoa.
there is one scene too.
The jellyfish scene.
Right, that's what I'm gonna say. The jellyfish scene. She meets the guy who's like supposedly the villain. He was been hacking. His name is Kusei. He was hacking into robots and causing them to go wild and kill certain businessmen. So she was, and her crew were handled to hunt him down. She ends up being captured by him. After she finds him, I find the movie gets more coherent and cohesive. But right after that is a scene where she finds out like what she is and that he's very similar to her and what the company is actually doing and does with the past experiments that have gone wrong, and she starts to feel bad about it, so she sort of runs away. And one of the guys, I think his name is Bato, he says, "I know where to find her." And
Arigato, Mr. Bato. Sorry.
He goes out on a boat, and immediately you just see, "I know where to find her," and it cuts, and she's underneath the ocean, and jellyfish are flying by, and like
they're not flying by this.
Well, they're swimming by, and she's just wearing these little flippers, and like
And everyone in the theater laughed.
yes,
For
it
the
was
most
the
part.
weirdest.
It was the weirdest.
It was
scene.
the most out of nowhere scene.
There's also like that really out of nowhere scene where that, like lady started yelling about like the different Ghost in the Shell sequels. They put it over the credits. But...
Oh, yes, we were in the theater, and there was this lady who was extremely loud and obnoxious, but she was quiet throughout the movie.
Yeah, it was
Throughout the movie, she was quiet. When it started, she was quiet.
It happened twice, Brandon. Get over yourself. It was in the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Star-Lord's like, "Who the hell are you?" And Kurt Russell's about to say, "I'm your father."
Goes, "Oh, Kurt Russell!"
She goes, "Kurt Russell!"
No, and for the Transformers trailer. Ooh, Transformers!
I don't remember that. That's because I was too busy turning to Cody and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that Michael Bay said that they have like 14 Transformers movies planned."
14, jeez. Yeah. No. Yeah, but the movie, in its first 30, 40 minutes, it just sort of like, I want to
I don't find
like
that
Suicide Squad's the information and the ideas.
See, I don't think it's
It
that
just
bad.
not that bad, but
no,
it's
I
just
just mean,
it,
I
like
found
it
it
forces it out
cohesive.
like very rapidly, and it just like sort of just mentions it and then it rushes by it very quickly. But once you get to that
I didn't
40-minute
find
mark,
it
she might
uncohesive
meets
before then.
Kusei. It really sets on that.
Fair enough. This movie, though, made me feel nothing. Like, when I was watching it.
Exactly. When I was for me it was due to the sloppy start and it sort of carried over throughout the rest of the writing, even though it got a little bit more coherent for me after, like I said, she meets Kusei. It still felt like it was impossible to connect with these people, although at several times I did occasionally feel for her character. Other than that, it wasn't consistent. It was very, very like spotty. It was through like small portions I would feel like, oh, okay, I feel sort of bad. I feel like, oh, I feel what she's going through, and then yeah.
Yeah. Do you have
But-
anything else to say? Because I want to get to spoilers. So, because
Yeah.
the big thing I want to talk about is
Is
the
the
ending.
ending? Yes, the
So
payoff.
do you want to do like final thoughts, just
Well,
to be like?
yeah, that was what I was going to say. My final thoughts is the payoff at the end of the whole.
No, we'll
movie
get
is
to that because
lacking.
I want to get into like details about this. So why don't we just do like a whether we think that
Right.
You should watch it, and then we'll talk about spoilers.
It is a watchable movie. It's
Yeah, I was
very
kind of
watchable.
bored through parts of it,
Right. It feels, while it presents occasionally interesting ideas, it
But
does
it's-
feel like the source material, sort of like V for Vendetta, where the source material was dumbed down and just made.
but we
into,
don't know that because we've never seen the
right.
original.
It feels like that though. Like I'm like,
Well, my big thought when watching
would
it
be
was,
you
okay.
know, this seems like it's been dumbed down and action.
See, I didn't
packed
have
full
that.
of more action.
My
so that
thought
it can
was,
appeal to the major audience.
my
the
thought was,
larger audiences.
like I've seen like all of this stuff before, so I'm like I don't really care. I've seen
Right.
it before. You know what I mean?
Right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like I was just thinking about other movies that I've seen where I'm like, well, this just reminds me of this. This just reminds me of that.
Right.
Like
It's probably best not to see this in theaters, because that might be too expensive. Rather,
watch it on your
wa-
phone on Netflix.
torrent it, watch it on demand when it comes out for like $5 or something.
The discount bin.
Yeah, you probably won't desire watching it a second time, but I could probably comfortably say you won't feel ripped off for the most part. Some people will hate the movie. Obviously, I can't.
Is it because
guarantee that for
is it
any
because
movie.
they hate women though? Because the main character
Oh.
is a woman.
It's not even a thing. It's not even a thing. We're not even gonna go there. I don't think most people at $5 on demand are going to feel ripped off about watching this, but they're not going to want to watch it a second time. My final score, I know you don't like to do scores.
scoring this.
My final score is a 6 out of 10.
Fair enough. So you didn't go any higher than last time.
I did not, no.
So you liked Lego Batman and Kong Skull Island more than this movie?
Oh, yeah.
No, fair enough. I wasn't bored in either of those movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching. Okay, so the ending. I have major problems with the ending.
Major.
Major.
Get it? Because
oh,
Major Makoto Kusanagi. Oh, Monoko.
No, that's, I think that's
Makoto.
her real name,
Monoko.
isn't it?
Yes,
'Cause
but
her-
that's what I know her name is. So I
No,
just
because
call
wasn't her
Major.
like robot name like Major something like Kill like
Killian or something?
Killing? Yeah, I'm like really because she's killing people.
I don't know.
Because she's killing all the people.
I don't remember her robot name.
It was something. It was kill something.
Motoko Kusanagi. I remember that,
Yeah.
which is a very Japanese name.
Yes, for a very Japanese woman.
Her eyes did look a little thin at times.
Hey, I said that last night, and you were like, "No, Austin, stop
I
being
no,
so
I didn't.
retarded."
I didn't say that. I said I think her eyes just look like that. I think her eyes are just generally thinner.
Okay, so the ending. So they're both, her and what's the guy's name? Kukuchu, the guy who thinks the bad guy at first. Kusei, thanks. It probably sounded racist. So Kusei are laying there, and like they're being attacked. They're gonna die. And first of all, let me just say, at the beginning of the movie, she's in an explosion and it rips all of her skin off. In the climax, she's hit by like 3 explosions in a row where she's in them, and she's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Like, really? Like, why would you set that up at the beginning if you're not going to do anything like that? Like, if you're not going to be consistent.
Yeah.
But, so they're lying there, and like, there's no way they can make it out. They're about to die, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. They're gonna do like a 1984 type thing where the good guys don't win at the end. The status quo is maintained, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. It's not like the Hollywood idea of everyone gets a happy ending, and then everyone gets a happy ending. They get saved, and the villain is killed by a side character who's in maybe 3 scenes.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not okay with that. Especially because they set up this conflict between Major
the Major
and the bad guy Cutter, I think his name was.
Mr. Cutter.
Mr. Cutter, yeah. They set up this conflict between the two of them, as he's basically the one who like turned her into this robot, and has been like wiping away her memories and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't have. I don't think they share a scene together, like towards the end. I think maybe at the beginning.
Yeah.
But after that point, I don't think they're ever on screen together.
No.
And I don't like that. I don't think they ever say anything to each other. And like I said, I think when you set up your hero and villain like that, you have to have them at the end. You can't just give the death of the villain to a side character who
has 3 scenes and no
and has
effect.
Wolverine hair.
Yes.
And I couldn't stop thinking about it the entire movie, and I was like, oh my god, it's Logan.
Exactly.
Yeah, but do you have anything else to say on the ending? Like,
I have something to say. I guess positives about the movie.
okay,
The design of the world. The
Blade Runner.
the way they designed it, the effects, the visuals.
No, the effects are very
The
good.
action was good looking and well filmed.
There were a few scenes where I was like, this isn't
Yeah,
very good.
the
Main
few
one that I
times.
think of is when the garbage truck guy is running away and she attacks him in the water.
Oh, you didn't like the way that scene?
Oh, I thought that scene was terrible.
Okay.
Well, first of all, okay, yeah, she's invisible, but the water would still react to her moving.
Right.
Like, it wouldn't just be, like, flowing normally. You would be able to see, even if she wasn't moving, the water would still move differently around her.
Right.
And it's, every time she hits him, it's like an awkward slow-mo.
Right.
And I was just like, this looks really bad.
All right. Fair
Well,
enough.
and-
right. And I was going to say another pro is the score. I like the music. I like.
Really, I didn't have any opinion on the score. I thought it was just kind of, I didn't notice it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
Well,
just
everyone's entitled
bland,
to their
I
own
guess.
opinion.
Yeah, it's their own opinion. A Red Letter Media video we watched earlier.
Yes.
So is that all you have to say on the movie then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, same here. So I guess we'll call it quits there.
Yep. This has been Day Ghost Reviews. Keep on rolling.